But overall, it's a pretty good experience, and Emacs is a pretty good company, and they make good products. And if you have any issues with this, then in terms of like warranty problems, whatever, they're pretty good at taking care of their customers. Also, there's spare parts for this one as well. Some of these other ones over here, there may not be spare parts. I know that there's ones for iFlight and also Diatone will have spare parts, but some like the Supra and then the whatever that one is, SkyStars, may not have spare parts for those. So that's another thing to be aware of when you're dealing with these different models and which companies are going to have better support and more spare parts and that kind of thing. So the Tiny Hawk is not a fast flyer, but I think it's still a good product. Okay, so let's talk about the last two here. We got the Tyro 69 and the Larva X, and I think right now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this video out in time, but right now they're on sale. There's a big bang good sale going on right now. I think you can get this one for like 60 bucks with the coupon, and the Larva X is like $83 now. I'm pretty sure the coupons will probably be gone by the time you watch this video, but yeah, I mean, these are pretty good values here. Obviously, Larva X performs pretty good. You saw my video on that one. It's a good flyer. This here happens to be the Crossfire receiver version. I'll have a video on explaining how to do the antennas later. And then the Tyro 69 here, I'm not flying it on the 65mm prop that it came with. I'm using the Gemfan 2540. This is okay. I mean, for $69, you're getting a pretty easy to build product. I built this in like under 30 minutes, and that was even spending time to take pictures and everything for the video, and it performs okay. I mean, it's not stellar. It's an 1104 motor on this, and I'm thinking that they're probably going to target this to like first timers or someone that maybe hasn't built before. And if you're a first time builder, this is not a bad one to try, because it's only 17 solder points to actually deal with, and 12 of them are the motors, and it's overall pretty easy to build, and you'll see that video shortly. Flies pretty good on 2S, and it's a lot faster, of course, on 3S, but 2S is totally fine on that one. Now, would you spend $60 or $69 on the Tyro 69, or $83, $88, $95 on the Larva X? And that's a tough question. I know that people are going to ask me that, and you don't have to build the Larva X. Larva X does come with the Diamond DVR or Diamond VTX DVR with an onboard video recording. It does come. A lot of them do come with receiver versions, so you get more for your money on the Larva X. You get the better camera and video transmitter, of course. Yeah, so. And it performs better too. The Larva X definitely performs better than the Tyro 69. But it's just like, do you want to spend like very little money and get something of this class, or spend maybe a little bit more and get maybe something quite a bit better? And I think that's kind of the question that boils down to for all of these here, is how you want to spend your money. You could spend very, very little and you can build something like this and get, I would say average performance, or you can spend a little bit more money and you get a little bit above average performance. And I would say, like, for the Larva X, like, one of the reasons why I think this one is going to be the one that I'm going to recommend for most people is that it's good value. It's probably the top performer here out of all of these Toothpick models that I've reviewed, but it doesn't cost as much as a lot of the other ones. Like the Gepper C is going to cost more. Pretty much a lot, like the Beta FPV one is going to cost more. A lot of these are going to cost more than the Larva X, but they're not going to perform more. So obviously you're going to be paying more for some of these and not getting as good a performance as the Larva X. And why would you want to do that unless you just happen to like the way these other ones look? That's kind of what it kind of boils down to. And yes, you can probably build something better than the Larva X, but can you build it for around $90? And if you look around, most of the builds out there that have the premium parts inside of them are going to be around $150 minimum, plus you have to build it. And then those that you have to build, or it's like 150, you could get the Tyro, 69 for $60 right now, which is like ridiculously crazy. You could get like 3 of these for the price of a premium product. And if you're a first timer, don't know how to build anything, I would just say buy 2 of these, and if you screw up, then you have a second one and you have spare parts. That's what I would say. That's one way of going. Anyway, so that's all of these models, and the one up, if you can only buy one, I would say get the Larva X. That's the one I would recommend if you can only get one. So, and you've heard my reasoning on all this already. Now let's talk about props. So I've tried pretty much everything that's out there, and I'm not going to make a prop video because I'm just going to add it to this video because there's not that much more to say. I've got the gem fans, I've got the Pyro Drone props, HQ props, I've got the these King Kong props here. I think these LDRC King Kong props, and then I got the HQ bi-blade with this one here with the screw mount holes. And I would say that out of all of these here, the ones with these basically these bi-blades here with the 65mm, these are, well, I think these are all basically on the way out. I mean, they're okay, but on the top end of the throttle, a lot of these, they're going to flatten out. And it's because they have too much flex, as you can see here. They bend too easily. So that's a characteristic of pretty much all of them. They just have too much flex inside them. And so that's why I kind of went to the HQ prop. It has a little bit, it still has flex on the end, but it doesn't flex as much on near the hub. And so I feel like it has better flight characteristics. And having the screw hole to mount the prop is actually a benefit, because a lot of times when you crash with the the press-on props, the prop just flies off and you lose them. And yeah, and plus with them being so thin, you hit anything, they just get a scuff mark on them, they get unbalanced really easily, and you can't use them anymore. The HQ props here are probably the best in my opinion. They're more durable. If you have the screws actually attached here, they're not going to fly off, and they don't bend at the hub as easily, so they're going to handle higher RPMs better than the other props. That's why this is the prop that I recommend. Out of all of the props that I've tested, I've got all of these here that I don't use anymore, because the HQ prop is the only one that I would recommend. There's probably going to be newer 65mm props out. They'll probably change that, but as of today's video, as of today's date on this video, that's the one that I would fly. Obviously, there's people out there going to swear by the other props out there, but I don't fly them anymore because I just don't like the way they handle. And I'm tired of losing the props when I crash. Literally every time I crash, the prop is gone in the grass and I can't find it. So that is pretty annoying. Whereas when I've crashed these guys, when they have like the screws on them, like I have here on the iFlight, every time I crash this one, it's actually, this one I've crashed quite a few times, and in the grass, and you can see the prop still looks brand new, and I've never lost a prop. So it tells you something, that you don't have to keep buying props because you lose them in the grass. That's just really super annoying. This is why I just fly this one only when it comes to the 65mm props. But I'm kind of switching to thinking maybe using more of the 3-bladed props like the HQ or the Gemfan 2540, which will reduce flight time, of course, but you're going to get better handling in turns because it's tri-blade, not bi-blade. But you're going to draw more amps and get a shorter flight time. But at the same time, you're on bi-blades, some of these flight times are ridiculously long anyway, and if you just want more performance, then I would recommend just going to a tri-blade like the this is the HQ 2.5 by 2.5 by 3, and then you have the Gemfan 2540, and then there's also the Emax Avon, I think it's called the Blur or something like that, I forget. The 2.5-inch Avan micro prop. That one's also pretty good. So you're gonna, I think they all perform pretty similarly as well, but I think the Gemfan draws the most amps and gives you the best power if you have a motor that can handle. That's why I put the 2540 on this 1104 motor, because it can handle, 1104s can handle the 2540, whereas the smaller 1102s can't handle this prop, so keep that in mind. Anyway, I rambled on way too long. This video is super long. Sorry about that. But hopefully I've covered all the things that I've experienced with all these models and given you the knowledge dump that you need to make your decisions on which ones are best for you. Obviously it's going to really depend on, you know, the kind of pilot you are and how you fly and what you want to do with your money. So those are all, hopefully I've given you the information to giving you the best decision possible. I don't know if anyone else has flown this many of these models, because I've actually gone out of my way to request all the models that have been out there and tried to fly as much as possible on these, so I can give you as much knowledge as possible on what I've experienced with these. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that, and that'll give me more encouragement to make more videos like this in the future. So anyway guys, I've talked way too long, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.